Welcome back, everybody. Excited to do another video here. This is not our deep dive series. If you guys caught the first one of those, I will be doing more of those with my deck Kareem J. Senlas, the fourth. Excited to do that series. There's a couple decks that I'm really excited to go deep on, but I also still have really a lot of the decks I've opened recently from my stuff that I got from the fire sale. I open decks slowly because I try to play them all anyways, so it's like, why open them if I'm not going to play them for a little while? I have a pretty decent queue to get through of decks, but I haven't been playing them much. One, because I just haven't had time. I've had a lot going on, especially with work. But two, because so many of them are just really cool or have really interesting things going on, and so I actually kind of want to just share them on here and try and record as much of the gameplay as I can while I'm doing that. So this is one of those ones for sure because it's just nuts. It's a deck. I've never opened anything like this before. I opened this at our, I guess it would have been two in-person events ago. So it's been a while. I've had this just kind of sitting in my closet waiting to be played, but this is definitely one that I wanted to play on here. And I did tease this one a couple weeks ago because it's just so crazy. So the Practical Tailor of Darkpath already got a pretty good name. 76 SAS. The numbers over here are like really low. They're really bad. I mean, 1.8 artifact control is fine, but 5.3 amber control, 9.9 total amber, and then 8.4 creature control. None of those are like at the threshold that I would normally want in a deck. But you look down here and you have 26 efficiency with some recursion, lots of creatures, so 89 creature, but a lot of that is kind of bigger Sanctum guys that kind of like to sit on the board. But all these numbers aside, when you start actually looking at the individual cards and just the value that you have in the deck and some of the combos, you really start to see what's going on. So let's start with the logos because that is just the most obviously ridiculous house. We've got Causal Loop, Eclectic Inquiry, Master the Theory. So first card, 3 cards there already are archiving. The Master the Theory, I just put these in. I don't think that one has a grade enhancement on it. A lot of the draw enhancements, unfortunately, landed in Sanctum. Yeah, Master the Theory is just an extra amber, which is fine, because that's a card that a lot of times, especially in a deck with, 21 creatures, this isn't going to do anything often. So having an extra amber pip on that, totally fine. Standardized testing is a little bit of our creature control. We've got the autoencoder, so something that pretty much everyone's looking for in their mass mutation logos. This one does have a draw pip on it, which is a little sad, but it does help with some other things we're going to look at. We've got the Fission Bloom, so all those draw pips, that double amber pip on Eclectic or on Master the Theory. That Fission Bloom is just getting a lot of value there. We're going to skip that one. Mutagenic Serum, I think, also has a draw pip on it. Sorry, I'm slurring the words a little bit because I'm excited. Let's see. So, I mean, you can see it up above. There's 6 draw pips total. 3 of those at least are in Sanctum, maybe 4. Yeah, Mutagenic also has a draw pip on it. So 2 artifacts so far that have draw pips on them with Autoencoder and Mutagenic Serum. Then we've got the Chronos, which is where some of those draw pips are coming, but also loves to see them played. Daughter, Professor Torado has another one of the draw pips, which is great because his entire goal is to draw or make you draw more. And then we've got the QMEX, which is more draw. So every card here is value, and then on top of that, you throw a library card. So I've only played one game with this, and I was at my locals, and I think I must have drawn at least 16 cards the turn that I popped this, and I popped this the turn after I played it, I think. It was pretty crazy. I still had a lot of the artifacts in the deck hadn't been played yet, So like the autoencoder and the mutagenic serum were still in hand, or I drew them. And so that's not always going to happen. Obviously, artifacts are going to kind of sit on your board for a while most of the time. But in this game, they had the draw pips on there. It just did so much. It was really fun. And I had the Q-Mex. I had Causal Loop was already in my archives. It was a crazy play. Unfortunately, my opponent had like 16 amber on the turn that I played it. So still had to do a lot of catch up. There's no amber control in this Logos, which is rough. We were saying afterwards that one effervescent principle would go a long ways. Sanctum is a little bit more standard, but still just tons of value. Equalize. This deck has the 5 capture pips, so that Equalize can help you at least get it moved around to the tougher to kill things. Smite, one of my favorite Sanctum commons. It's just such a good card. It does the splash damage. It's ready in use if your opponent doesn't have any creatures. Just solid stuff. Orb of Wonder. This is my first Orb of Wonder deck. Again, it's one of those cards that, especially if you're setting up for that library card turn, just go find one of your draw pip Logos cards and add it to just the cycle that's happening. But can also be pulled for some of that end game burst or amber control if you need it. Just like a very strong card. Ardent Hero, not bad. It's not nothing too crazy, but it is taunt. It's creature protection. He's pretty durable, and I think he has 2 draw pips on him. And then the Barrister Joya is another great card. Very good kind of way to slow your opponent down if you don't have a lot of amber control like a deck like this. Very, very good. She also has a amber pip, or a draw pip. Champion Anaphael, if you watch my Kareem J. Senless video, this is a card I get plenty of use out of. Very good common. Dalvador is where some of those captures are coming from. Gizelhard Zealot. I wasn't sure about this card when the set first came out, but I have it obviously in a lot of decks. It's a common. The more I play it, the more it's just a really nice, just like very simple but very useful card. Especially paired with Lieutenant Gorvenal. Again, just adds a little bit more of that kind of last minute amber control if needed. Techno Knight, not my favorite knight. I think, what is it, the Xeno Knight or well, that's probably the best one, or Lyco Knight are both really, really good because they just provide a lot of durable creature control. Grey Rider, always good to see. The Star Alliance is probably the least impressive over here, but still, like, we've got Amber Pips, we've got a little bit of creature control, we've got a little bit of deck control. So if you're again setting up for that library card turn, you can take a Star Alliance turn first, check your top of your deck, make sure you're drawing into Logos to begin with. Double Crewman Yorg actually can get some value in this deck because there are a decent amount of Star Alliance, but anytime you can get this to go off in a deck with only 5.3 Amber control is helping you out. So not a bad one. The elusive, more of the enhanced icons coming from there. Dino Alien, I like the Dino effect on other creatures. Again, there's no way to really keep your opponent from getting that amber from the Exalt, but having that little bit of extra creature control is always nice. Explorer Rover has a damage pip. Mutagenesis Researcher is where a lot of those pips are coming from. Secure Droid has 2 capture pips on it, which is really nice because you can play a different creature and then play the Secure Droid and capture onto the other creature that Secure Droid is protecting with the taunt. Garcia is definitely something that's very useful in this deck with such low amber control. Subject Kirby helps you get those 21 creatures out, and then Chief Tank lets you use them. So I'm probably building this up a lot, and we might just get stomped, but I'm really excited to play this deck and just really see how ridiculous of turns we can get going with that library card. And I guarantee after talking about the library card so much, we're going to run into like triple borrow decks. It's just going to be our luck, but we'll see what happens. It's a really fun deck, and again, it's just kind of something I've never opened before, is a deck that looks like this. So if nothing else, it should just be a blast to play, even if it's not great. I do think the Amber control is where it is probably gonna fall short. If it just takes a little bit too long to get that library card turn set up, that lack of Amber control could really bite me, especially if I need to take the library card turn just to cycle into my other Amber control. I won't be able to play it that turn. I'll have to wait until the next turn because I don't have any of it in logos. And really look at how busy things were tonight. Oh, might take a little bit of time to get games, but we'll see. Should have had this cue in while I was rambling on about the deck. How many mutants do we have? Not a ton of mutants for the Professor Tirado, but still not bad. Kronos, Daughter, Professor Tirado, and Q-Mex. If you're only going to have 4 creatures in your logos, it's hard to get much better than that. Alright, we got a game. Against... Oof. Worlds Collide with double tribute. Do they have a way of using the tribute though? Doesn't really look like it. Double Golden Spiral, Library, Paraguardian, but the triple Tau with the interdimensional graph, that's probably how they use the tribute, is try and just force me to kill it and then graft it all away. I think we're actually okay keeping this hand. We really want to see most of the logos later, as long as we found the library card at some point. What is that? Actually, that should work well for us if we can get that Q-Mex pretty soon, but we're going to go ahead and go Sanctum here and just kind of run this lineup, and this should make it tough for them to play too many creatures to start. This is a lot of high-powered creatures, and we got a pretty good Star Alliance follow-up. The double survey is a little weird. Not sure if that's useful at this point, but we'll see. This is one of the... Secure Droid is one of the weird kind of upgrade creatures that, like, I feel like it's pretty rare that you actually put this on something instead of just playing it for the creature. Like, what's the value you're gonna get from doing something like that? Okay, so we've got 3 Saurians. One of them is already stunned. Paraguardian we probably don't want going off. I also don't have a great Sanctum turn here, though. So I think we're just gonna stun the Phlox'em and just run out some of this Star Alliance, because it's worth a lot here. So we'll go ahead and subdue. I wonder if we force them to maybe kill the Phlox'em. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we'll discard the Mutagenesis Researcher. That's pretty handy. We'll go ahead and play the Yorg. Alright, and we'll play this guy on the left. Capture. And then one more survey. I'm going to keep the standardized because that lets me get rid of some of these bigger dudes depending on if this goes south. So we'll discard the Zealot. Okay, seeing a lot of logos now and a lot of the artifacts, which they're good artifacts, but we don't have a library card, so I could take a really greedy turn and Orb of Wonder to get the library card, and then take another greedy turn to just play the library card. And then after that turn, we're active to be able to play this stuff. Probably not worth it. Okay, so they're probably going to kill their Jargoggle with the Fangtooth here. Moving Crewman Yorg to turn off the action. That's fair. Plays an Instrument of Silence on the Pterodactyl. So I am actually going to take a greedy turn here. Which is a little bit weird, but I'm going to at least do the Sanctum turn, because it gets me a lot of value. I can kill this without them getting the draw. And I don't know if I actually reap here or not. I probably just discard the standardized testing, but let's just go ahead and do this. I don't think they have really... Yeah, no artifact control. So, I'm going to fight there. I'm not worried about fighting this yet, so we're just going to reap. I think we discard the standardize and we get a Gorvenal. Awesome. Let's Throw him on the right. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to end up playing this stuff pretty soon. So they go for the ward. And tribute onto the pterodactyl. Don't exalt. Oof. That axiom definitely hurts a lot more. But they did have to kill the Phlox'em. So because of that, I maybe just don't worry about it for a turn. Gosh. This feels so greedy, but I think like the whole reason we're doing this is to do the library card turn, so could always drop this. It seems like a bad turn though. And then just reap here. Yeah, we'll go Logos. We're gonna go find my library card. And I have no idea if I'm playing this deck correctly. I'm just trying to do big library card turns, so that's what you all are gonna get. Yeah, and we're just gonna leave it there. So now if the pterodactyl fights, they will definitely kill this, which we'll put it in our archives, and we got at least one more Logos in there. So I mean, even next turn, we could probably do a pretty sizable Logos library card turn. I wonder if I wait once more, because this smite looks pretty good just to remove these wards, especially before they get too much value off the Apollosaurus. Okay, so pterodactyl fights the Q-Mex, has skirmish now because of that, and fights there. Okay, so they are at 7 amber. We actually cannot take them off check. Yeah, we're going library card. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so that one's down. Draw. Oh, yeah, we already got. Problem is, this turn is probably just going to kind of... Ah, that's too bad. Didn't get to archive one off to the Master of the Theory. And then we will causal loop. Do we want to archive anything here? Of course, Kronos is right at the end. Get rid of Tink just because that's kind of a card that might not do a lot for us in the end anyways. Alright, so now we basically have half the deck in hand. It's pretty fun. Opponent is excited for us to have a turn like that. We'll see if they stay excited. I mean, they're in the lead, so they should be fairly excited. But I think things are going to get pretty tough for us soon. So that axiom, second axiom, I guess, is going to be the tough one. They have the Nature's Call. So there's just a lot I got to be careful about. But really, I got to deal with this pterodactyl. So I think we go... What am I worried about getting axiomed here? I don't want to go too much into the Logos, because yeah, let's go. Go Sanctum. We'll kind of just force him to have the axiom, which means he won't be playing the graft. Don't need to pop that. Oh, I could actually do that. Draw back into more Sanctum. But then I'm gaining more amber. Let's just see what we draw. So we'll Ardent Hero. And we're just gonna start tucking away all of this Star Alliance. And we did not draw Gorfinal. So we don't want to smite with them, with the hero, because the Edai almost kills it. So we'll... I think we actually smite with the Torado here. We just want to get rid of that ward there so that the Grey Rider can come over here, fight there, drop this, and we're going to capture on the daughter. And I gotta split this up a little bit so that this thing doesn't just take them all out. Put her on the left. Archive. Subdue. Left. Sure, we'll go to 7. We're gonna put these back on those two. I feel like I feel bad for my opponent. I'm just gonna take all these super long turns for a while, and most of it's not even thought through. I'm just throwing the cards out there to see what happens. But I don't know. It's a fun deck. I'm excited about this one for sure. It's also getting a little dark. I might have to turn a light on here quick. So the Untamed is probably gonna hurt. Trying to think what they could do. We don't have a ton that's worth mimicking. It's one of the nice things. The Smite's not great. That could hurt us a lot. The one good thing about Untamed is it means we're probably... Oh yeah, they are smiting with that. That's so rough. Smites the Ardent Hero, which does not kill the Ardent Hero because too big, but it does kill the Joya, which is just crazy to kill that with so much splash damage. So they play the Mustic, kill the daughter, makes sense. We do get to Forge here though, I'm pretty sure. I think this is their only Amber control because I don't think there's anything that they can mimicry in here. Yeah, well I guess they already mimicryed the Smite, so. Regrowth for Phlox'em. I've already cycled back into the Orb of Wonder. So at this point, we know they got the other Axiom coming pretty soon, and a Nature's Call apparently. But both of these give me draws, so they got to be careful about bouncing those. They might actually just bounce the Murmook here to kill something else. Kill the Torado maybe. Yeah. Makes sense. And the Fittest. Man, they're gaining so much Amber. That's the thing, this deck doesn't really, like, blow up Amber very much. So I guess we go Logos and see if we can draw. That standardized testing would be really nice here. And go Logos. We are going to take the Archives. Because we can stuff. Oops. Gotta make sure we do the Fission Bloom first. We're going to use that to play Master the Theory, to archive 2. And I guess we start stuffing Sanctum here since probably going Star Alliance next turn. Okay. Sorry, they're excited about my deck, which I am too. I gotta think this through. So I want to QMax. Didn't get it. Oh, I guess that's my last draw, isn't it? Okay. So we'll archive. Okay, still no logos in there. And then we'll causal loop one more Star Alliance. I really don't mind the Fangs hitting the QMEX here, so I think we actually blow up the library. Because that is what we do not want doing too much. And really, I think one of the tricks with this deck is I probably should have popped this a while ago so that it would cycle back through. That turn was just weird because I didn't want to go too much higher on the Amber. So they're not forging because of the Mustic, which means we probably have a good chance of getting better value off the Garcia. But we do have to do a lot of damage here. I don't think I actually pick up my Star Alliance. Or my archives if I go Star Alliance this turn, except it does give me a play for Kirby. But I need to start drawing more. I'm going to draw either way, I guess. Okay, so kill that. And they're at 8. So the problem is Garcia and Kirby actually take some off check, and I think I'm almost better off. Oh no, because of the Murmook. They're not getting to check anyways. So still waiting on Smite. We don't have the secured droid to get any capture. Sanctum is a pretty lame turn. Can use Kronos to fight something, I guess. Go ahead and go Star Alliance and take the archives. Let's go ahead and put this on something. So we're going to play this upgrade. We'll deal a damage. Oh, so we're attaching the upgrade first, and then dealing 1 damage here. Go ahead and pop the serum to let this fight. And that way we can subdue this one. We're still getting a lot of amber here, which is a problem, so maybe we just discard a couple of things. I think 7. Let's see. If they have to go into Logos, I think we can give him 2 on the graft. Just gonna have this captured there. He doesn't have any of the splash now. Go ahead and play the QMEX back out off of the Kirby. Oh, and we get the extra capture. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're just gonna start dumping stuff. We'll do Alien. We're gonna go ahead and Exalt again. We actually want Amber on our creatures because we're trying to play around the Axiom. Garcia. This. You know what? I think it's almost more value just to discard this here instead. Let's see what we archive. Another survey. Just again, like there's no reason to go too high when we know they have another tribute and we know they have that graft, especially since they've already drawn through basically their whole deck after this turn. This deck would immediately lose if they get a good graft play off me. So even if there's like a combo I haven't seen, I don't think, let's see, the Mimic Gel. Yeah, the Mimic Gel, they could do a tribute turn, Mimic Gel, the Mustic. Man, I hope they don't see that line. Mimic Gel the Mustic to blow up the Pterodactyl, to give me all that amber, and then to graft it. But instead they're going the warding here. So, all right to see that. I still don't want them to tribute, but at least they don't have a good way of killing these off after they tribute onto them. So we just try to force through the key without getting that captured amber back. But we do want to kill the Mustic here. Thing is, okay, yeah, there's the Axiom. Just fine. We kind of saw that one coming. Now they're just going to fight everything else off, which I probably should have thought that one through. But again, just trying to get to that standardized testing, but it looks like it's bottom 3. I think this entire game, discarding that has been the biggest mistake. So can't kill the alien, leaves Tink alive. They're on 10. We do get to forge though, so now we don't have to worry about the graft. Now we just want to kill stuff and get this all taken care of. Problem is, one smite doesn't really take care of anything. And one draw off of QMEX also doesn't really get me anything. Oh, dang. Yeah, I really don't like this turn. Gotta go Sanctum though, and just play out what we got. This guy's just gonna ping the ward. There's no reason not to at this point, because we have to try and kill that next turn. So kind of force him to find a way to protect it. And then the Gorvenal at least gives me some threat of Amber Control if they burst really high this turn. But that's about all the Amber Control I have. Because again, like I was saying earlier, there's no Amber Control in Logos, so if I have to go get that by using the Logos to draw, then I'm kind of out of luck. Going back into Saurian, I wonder what they found here. They shouldn't have another Axiom, right? Both Axioms are gone. But I mean, this Pterodactyl fights for plenty and it has Skirmish. So yeah, it's just gonna Golden Spiral to fight a lot. Probably because they think they're safe going to 7, which they basically are. Going to 8. And then that kills the Gorvenal. So what can I Orb of Wonder? It's a little late for that, I think. Sanctum does not have quite enough capture. Yeah, I feel like this is probably where this deck ends up in a lot of times. Obviously, it's sad we didn't get the standardized testing earlier. Did they ward that again? I totally missed that. I don't like it. Well, we'll go ahead and Orb of Wonder for a lot of value, I guess. Draw. Oh, I did that out of order. I'm also not used to playing with too many Cronus. It's kind of weird for me. Still a good game. We kind of saw that burst right at the end. I think with some practice and like wow, I cannot type. Turn the lamp on quick. Oh. So now I just look even more washed out. I don't know what that is. I can try and make it so you can see my face. I'm not usually recording these at night, but it's pretty fun. All right, well, that was a blast. Let's do it again. Oh no, we did not win that one. Sorry, everyone. Cheating. And I can't type. Ah, just missed it. Wonder. It's possible we queue into the same person, but we'll just give it a go. So what did we see in that? Basically, like, the deck has the ability to archive probably almost an entire house if you do it right. I hardly used the auto encoder at all, so like as tempting as it is to try and hold that for the library card play so you get that extra draw, it's probably way smarter to just try and mulligan for it early on, and then just basically try to archive an entire house. I think they got to that second key, or at least the amber for the second key, so fast, and I kind of had to play defensively after that, and this deck just really wants to be on the gas from what I'm seeing. Let's see. So let's see. I feel like the Star Alliance is bursty, but didn't do a lot. Playing around the axioms was tough, but I mean, we're going to run into that with a lot of these. There's going to be a lot of board wipes. I think I have to be really careful about having too much amber on my creatures, even though there's a lot of capture. I don't have any ways to really protect that outside of a couple taunt creatures. Basically what I'm saying is I just have to be faster than my opponent, which I think in a lot of situations this deck can be faster than a lot of decks. Might just need to see things a little bit in a different order. Like, probably what you want to do is just archive the Star Alliance and don't even play it until you absolutely need it to stop a key, because that's where most of the key stopping potential is with the Garcia and the capture pips. The Sanctum can if the Gorvenal stays down, but Gorvenal never survives. I have a different deck that I've actually been playing. Let's see if that's on here. This one. I've been playing off screen, and it actually has 2 Gorvenals, and it has the, what is it? Amber Heart, so you can actually ward your Gorvenal almost every turn. Definitely makes it a lot more resilient, but same kind of issue. There's no way to dump the Amber, there's no Ludo or anything, so if your opponent is able to kill that Gorvenal, they're getting tons of Amber. So again, you kind of just have to outrace them. This deck has been a little bit disappointing. It's fun, it's doing some cool stuff. There's a lot of cool cards in here. The Johnny Longfingers, I think this is my first deck with him. It's got the double Gateway with double Mark of Dis. It struggled so hard to win any games. All right, so we're up against JT Russell. I know these guys have actually started streaming too, so if you haven't seen that, I think it's Sloppy Lab Work. Definitely worth checking out. What do we got? So another Worlds Collide with Zenzi and Edeyes. Doesn't have quite the big turn to work against. It's just those Edeyes probably get to cycle a ton. And do they have no Hawk? All right. It's time. Library card. We'll definitely dump some of this stuff first just to try and get as big of a turn as we can with this, but we're already set up for something pretty good, I think. Oh, they started out with double Edeyes. All right. Should be pretty fun. Sad Kirby. He has no creatures, which is ridiculous in a deck with 21 creatures, but oh man, and we've got the orb coming down too. This might be another game where we might throw the game just to have the biggest library card turn ever. Probably worth it. Alright, so Twin Bolts the Kirby and 2 damage on the Yorg. And then probably just Reaps out. And then Titan Guardian. Alright. So looks like the Yorg is gonna crash into an Edeye off with Grey Rider. That's fine. It's worth playing these. We're gonna do this guy first because gotta capture. Don't have to, but want to. We're getting close. Got 4 of them. They don't have remote access, right? No. No Hawk. Good name though, Spike Blaster. It's fantastic. Anyways, as I was saying, Sloppy Lab Work has been doing some streams. Kind of mixed in. They're doing podcasts, and then like right after the podcast they'll hop on and do like a game or two. I think they've also been streaming some NKFL stuff. I might be wrong about that, but definitely worth checking out. What? I don't like that. Standardized testing though kills Grey Rider and the Guardian, which is not what we want. I don't really want to orb. I mean, is me discarding gonna be the worst? We're just gonna push for a few more. Like I said, might be throwing the game here, but it's worth it for, oh, come on. It's worth it for this Logos library card turn. Okay, so if for some reason they don't kill the Grey Rider, we can get a fight with the Techno Knight, which doesn't really do anything because it won't even kill the Dark Titan Guardian, so I actually think I want them to kill this so that the standardized testing is going to kill, well, they'd have to kill both of these. Dang. So that probably won't happen, but so they have 2 in archives. Okay, fights the Grey Rider, makes sense. Reaps with E-Die, plays another E-Die. Yeah, we're doing some weird turns here. But I think I need to kill this so that we're killing the 3s with the standardized testing. So, and it will make sense to them because now the Yorg is online. I'm sure that's how it is. Okay, so we got to pull the trigger next turn and just start pumping out that Logos. Throwing Plasmate for nothing. Just, again, I was playing around that. They didn't even know by killing the Yorg. Okay, fights it anyways with the Titan Guardian and then reaps to 7. Beautiful. Logos. So, gotta decide what we want with the Orb of Wonder. It is almost definitely the autoencoder. Actually, no. Well, we don't want this first because then we'd archive too much. I think in this situation it's probably correct to draw first. Save this till the end. Let's play that, see what we draw. Okay, we got the Fission Bloom. Yeah, we'll standardize testing, right? Oh no, we do have enough to archive now. So we'll go ahead and go grab that. To archive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't play the QMX yet because we need the standardized testing to kill all those. They get to draw 2, which is unfortunate, but okay, we'll go ahead and causal loop, survey, play the daughter, play the eclectic, and then turn. All right, well, that was our library card turn. Still pretty fun. We have kind of a mix. We did end up getting this with the Eclectic Inquiry. That's okay. Furnace has plenty of good stuff to hit, I'm sure, especially that, yeah, double pip, Master the Theory. No Name is going to purge some more. And Caller's the daughter. That's so rude. And then Not Finished With You to get all of that, all those E-dies back. Okay, so I think this is Sanctum turn. We'll go ahead and take our archives. So we need to kill the daughter. Go ahead and do Let's see. Let's draw first. This on the right. So we've got the equalize. Anafiel on the right. Gorvanel protected by Anafiel. Techno Knight. I unfortunately can't kill this to let him reap, even with the smite. We are going to smite with Techno Knight. We'll go ahead and move that to this guy. And we'll just fight the Infernus. He already did the not finish with you. They do have two, but we'll see. Discards the Cronus, of course. Alright, so can't reap until they take care of the Barrister. So, what do we do here? Still got some good Sanctum to draw, but we're not drawing anything. I guess we could with that. Probably worth it to go back into Sanctum here. Simon is not elusive, right? Fight there. Reap to discard the mutagen. Do not pick up another. I don't have lights out, right? No. Reap. Reap, and yeah, I think we gotta force him to just deal with kind of what we got going on here, and then pull out some of this Star Alliance. I really don't feel like I'm thinking about what I'm actually doing in this game too deeply. I should be, but honestly, if you've watched before, I don't play a lot of super high efficiency decks, so like I'm probably just getting analysis paralysis where I just have too many things I'm thinking through at once. They're doing a nice Logos turn here with Wild Wormhole, getting the not finished with you to get Infernus and No Name back. So cycling through here is probably a good idea. Also dealing with Zenzi is probably a good idea. Man, I really don't want to get too trapped into... I haven't played the autoencoder yet, that's a problem. He's my only mutant, so if I do the serum... We'll go ahead and do the Star Alliance turn. Single damage isn't doing a whole lot. Okay, let's survey. Discard the Salvador. We'll go ahead and pop this. We can use that. Play this upgrade on here, and we'll deal a damage here. So now we can actually fight that without taking any damage. Play Alien on the right. I think we do just need to kind of push this key through here. I guess we'll play the other one of these. Discard the Torado. We're drawn through either way, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. Play this on the right to capture Garcia. Do they have any other artifacts? Nah. So we can cycle that too. The nice thing is that several of the artifacts with enhancements can sacrifice themselves, so they go back into cycle. So now we just redrew, and we have nothing in discard. Ah, here comes a Harbinger. And they have a way of killing it. Yep. It's fair. Alright. This seems like go back into Logos. We'll save this combo for when they actually have creatures that are worth killing. Yes, we'll take the archives. We will draw. Go ahead and Fission Bloom to draw. Play that. Play that. Play that. And let's see if we can actually do that strategy of starting to archive all this Star Alliance. But see, all that captured amber, just no way to protect it. Kills the Professor Tirado. That's fair. It's gaining me a lot of amber here. I think I like the Sanctum. Do not want to take my archives. Let's... Man, I just need one more big creature for this. There we go. So now we got a lot more of that Star Alliance archived. Oh, here we go. So this can actually fight the Edai. And then we can... I wonder if I save one of these. Play him on the left to reap. Play the Equalize, because we're not going to check either way here. I have a little bit more Sanctum to draw into, though. I'm going to hold on to this. We're getting to draw extra anyways. From that, we did draw the other, at least one of the other Sanctum cards, so... But we do have a lot for their Infernus to start hitting. Only one pip. And they kind of just use their main board clear. Yep, here's the Infernus, hitting their own because I don't have any pips at the moment. They only have a couple single pips. Let's see if they hit Thorium Plasmate. Oh, just do not finish with you, alright. Lilithal, no name. I've purged all Logos at this point, which is, I get why. There's a lot of strong cards, especially this one is really good for me. But I think the Sanctum in this deck is actually really strong, so that might come back to really hurt them. We have great Sanctum lines here, so I think we're just going to go back into that. Still not going to take the archives, get the orb back down. Go ahead and get this down to capture and no capture here. I think we're going to try to plan on killing that Infernus. So we can fight, smite. Ah, I didn't think that through. That's a bummer. And then reap. Yeah, that was poorly thought out turn, I would say. Oh well. I think we gotta kind of build back towards what we need to do. I do need to spend some turns fighting because I don't have the standardized testing anymore, so... Alright, probably killing a daughter here. Yeah. Okay, so Logos turn is not looking fantastic. Star Alliance turn gets me a lot of pips. Gets me an extra creature down, but is not doing a whole lot else. This Logos is getting me a draw through. And some archiving. Let's try and stick with it. So we're gonna Logos. Do not want to take the cards in my archives. Gonna Fission Bloom to play this. Let's do the Chronos, archive, Chronos, archive, then draw into any logos. We're gonna have to do some weird stuff with the smites to kill these because we just are running so low on creature control. Is there anything we want to orb right now though? No, I think we gotta save that for when we like desperately need it. They have so much in archives, we're kind of in trouble as far as actually getting a key forged. So we might have to go into Sanctum, back into Sanctum, and then fight, and then smite, and then fight again, I guess. Oh, or they'll take all their archives. Ah. Yeah. So, you can't see it because it was below my face. They had a Data Forge and 7 cards in the archive. Totally missed that. Huh. So what happened that game? I was probably getting a little too cute with my turns. Instead of just like, I think the thing is, I'm having trouble keeping a board, so most of my burst is coming from Star Alliance, because that's where most of my pips are. So I probably need to actually play them more. Alright, well, we'll try again. Still had some pretty fun library card turns. I think overall, the impression is it's a fun deck. It's got a lot of weaknesses. The creature control is, I think, almost worse than what this is saying. Like, targeted removal is very lacking. So like you saw on that, I had to basically fight a bunch just to kill those Edis or to get myself into position to kill them with the standardized testing. And then that got purged right away. So we'll do one more here. Sad thing is, if I was planning to sell this deck because it looks ridiculous, there's now video evidence of it not being as good as it looks. So that might not work out, but I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's a very fun deck. I think it is my only library card deck. Oh, if I could type. I might have one more. Nope, definitely just that one. So yeah, that's fun. I've gotten so many things that I'd never had before in this fire sale. Like, it's been a blast. One of the next ones I know I want to play is a deck that has both lesser and greater Oxtet. Lesser Oxtet I don't have a great relationship with. I've just never had a deck that could use it well, and I didn't really understand. When the set first came out, I didn't think its ability was good. Now I definitely understand like why the purging can be good, but Greater Oxtet I think is very much up there as like a favorite, because it's like very creative in how it works, but what it does is just like, it's just pretty good. But it's kind of sneaky good that your opponent doesn't necessarily understand the value of like that purge every turn. Let's see if we can find that one. Might be tough. I'm not getting too many games tonight, so this might be the last one of this video. All right. Oops. So I have a couple of each, and actually oh, I haven't scanned it in yet. That's why. So Well, I'll be surprised by what's in that deck when I finally actually put it in here. I think I have a couple that I opened. Maybe the same. No, maybe it was the same night as this one. Or later, maybe just a weekend when I was bored and wanted to, well, not bored, but felt the itch to open some more decks. Trying to think what else. We got a really cool kind of like rushy Worlds Collide deck with like double Fuzzy Gruen and like a Nature's Call and stuff. Again, it's very low on Amber control, but let's see if that one actually made it in here. It has double stealth mode, so I think it probably has the legs to actually like sneak in. It's not that one because there's no Untamed. The legs to actually sneak in some of those keys because it still doesn't have a key cheat. I think I want to find some higher SAS decks or just better decks with key cheats because, like, again, just if you watch me play the Kareem, the key charge in that deck makes that deck hit so much above what it should in so many games because it almost always creates close games, that deck does, and having that key charge to just finish it out is huge. And it's scraped by so many games by doing that. And I want a deck that looks more like this with just one key cheat. I had it backwards. It's double Nature's Call with one Fuzzy Gruen. It's still pretty good. Double Nature's Call is really disruptive. It's got another EE on the fringes. I opened a lot of those in my that Worlds Collide display. Lots of EEs. Creeping Oblivion's fine. Double Rock Grub. Poltergeist. So this one, it has a lot of utility, but again, just not much for Amber control, so it has to outrace you. But I think stealth modes can help you do that for sure. Double Frames, again, very good, just like right at the end of the game, kind of key control. So, all right, we got one with Davida Lives, if that's how you say that name. No clue. All right, let's see if we got another, not Worlds Collide this time. It is Call of the Archons. Let's see, we've got Control Their Weak, Double Dominator, Double Hand of Dis, Double Squawker, Double John Smith with a Disintegrator, so my Amber is all going to go away, and then they're just going to burst with Untamed and beat me. So, let's hope they get in the game here. I think we'll keep this, because I think... Let's see, do they have the Poltergeist? No, I think we're pretty safe getting that early. So we're just gonna Orb of Wonder. Turn 1, and then turn 2 will probably get these guys down. Ugh. Mind Barbs the Q-Mech. Gross. So we'll go Star Alliance. Play. Oh, that's annoying. Play this. Damage itself. Play this. Capture. That's just like the worst sequencing possible with those pips. You want him down first so that this can do the damage and then this guy can capture, but this guy has to play this guy. Okay, so they did the Life Ward, Fog Banks, no fighting. No playing creatures, that's fine. We've got to find Star Alliance turn here. Unfortunately, this doesn't let me discard a creature, but we did dodge the Phlox'em, which is huge. So, let's survey. Oh, come on. Man, this is going to be a rough game. Do I play the other survey? I think I have to. This is definitely going to be a race. We'll discard the Dino Alien. We're not going back into Star Alliance for a little bit now. We're going to... Oh, I can't fight because of Fog Bank. Okay, fights the Explo Rover. Fights the subject Kirby. Of course, plays the Big Twig because all of my creatures are gone. Yikes. Okay, so this is pretty rough. Losing that standardized testing. But even then, it would kill this and this, so I think we have to go for the smite here with the orb. Call Sanctum, because we gotta get this under control. I don't know how they drew this many Untamed in the first. It happens. That's Keyforge. Still mad about it. No, we're gonna play that afterwards because we do get to capture a lot here. Okay, sequencing. So the smite blows all that up. So maybe we actually just do that first with the Salvador because he takes less damage. And then we'll just have this guy fight the Murmuk, and then we'll equalize to put one there, put one there. He will reap to take us to check. So that could have gone worse. We did have to use the Orb of Wonder though. Still haven't drawn the library card, so we're probably just gonna have to play this Logos out. Luckily we do have several draw pips with the Cronus, so we'll at least get to... Oh no. Controls the weak into Sanctum. Hopefully the Hand of Dis, yeah. So luckily, Hand of Dis can only kill one thing there. And they arise, they're untamed, so it's all coming back. But we do get the key. Oh, the rest of this is just so bad though. Can't even cleanly fight into any of this. Oh man, yeah. This is gonna be pretty brutal. So, the creature control in this deck, also lacking. Turns out, drawing 50 cards a game doesn't help if the cards you're drawing don't quite get you there. Okay, so Phlox'em bursts them up. Remove makes my keys more. Man, this is brutal. Okay. I mean, we just got to do it now. Too bad they didn't kill this so I could archive. Except I wouldn't want to because I don't want to archive my whole hand. So we're going to play the Cronus. Play the Serum to archive. I guess we're archiving Sanctum at this point, except she's going to be really good next turn. Get some Amber. Play this one. Archive. Doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, so we could actually go back into Sanctum. They're playing Mars, which is... Yeah, they're gonna do some mean stuff. Yeah. There's not much comeback from something like this. Again, I think something like a Red Alert in this deck would also not make me sad. So we need to try and slow this down a little bit. So we're gonna go Sanctum. Take our archives. Play Ardent Hero to draw some. Doesn't help us. Play the Barrister. Still doesn't get us anything. Play this to capture. We'll just spread it out. Mutagenic isn't helping us at all. They don't have a Niflate, so this isn't the easiest thing in the world to kill. Unless they just do that. It's not too difficult, I guess. But they do have to take this turn and at least kind of sacrifice some of their creatures to get back to being able to use these things. I think we just kill this with the Subdue just to not worry about it anymore. And we actually get to use the creature or the Amber Control and Star Alliance for once, so that's fun. But it's going to make a huge difference at this point, but we can actually tax them for all 8. Oh, unless they play a Key Charge. They also have Choda in this deck. Oh no. This is not going well. Maybe we do another game after this. Let's see. So we want to We don't have any Yorgs, so that doesn't matter too much. We'll play Garcia on the right. Play this on the left. Play this on the left. Play this on the right to capture. Subdue the Disintegrator. These are still doing nothing for me. So basically next turn we're just going to have a really big Logos turn that will do nothing because we'll still lose, or they're able to just key charge or Chota on their next turn. Okay, soft landing probably for John Smith, so they're just going to scoop up all of my dudes. Garcia's going first, and then probably the Gorvenal. First the Psychic Network to steal. This is just Keyforge. That's how it goes. It's great to see. It is great to see some old school Mars doing like just degenerate stuff. Yeah, this just do not quite have the legs in this deck to deal with something like that, especially losing my only creature control like action card so early on. So technically, we have one mutant that we can use. But it won't capture anything. So we are pretty much done. We'll do this turn anyways. So we're going to Fission Bloom for the Torado on the right. Doesn't get us anything helpful. Play the library card, play this to archive. Archive some more. Play the Daughter. Use this to fight the Murmook. Man, that's a nasty deck. I like it. It's gross, but I like it. They didn't even see the fertility chant. So, yeah. Good draw followed by an Arise. Definitely helped them, but I think they were spitting out more creatures than this deck can deal with, especially when there's a bunch of small elusive ones. Yeah, a Red Alert and an Effervescent Principle would probably go a long ways in this deck. But still very, very fun. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts for this one. Yeah, still really cool. Lots of things in there I like. I'm sure like between the Orb of Wonder and some other things, there's probably a lot of like small fine-tuning I can do with my play in this deck to kind of get the most out of it. It's a deck that I'm sure rewards kind of like a very strict game plan when you have things like the library card and the autoencoder. Like maybe I should just be mulliganing for one of those no matter what, play whichever one it is, and then discard the autoencoder if I have that. Just discard everything until I have basically all of my deck archived. Yeah, there could be a lot of different things we could try with this, but there you go. That's the practical Tailor of Darkpath. Really awesome mass mutation deck that is just not quite up to par, at least with the decks we were playing against tonight. We were playing against some cool stuff, but I think there were some of those that they didn't have to be the best decks ever to beat Darkpath. I think probably even more than the Amber control, this creature control just makes it so that even though once you get it rolling, this deck can probably generate tons of Amber, if your opponent can just make a big board and like capture or reap with it, you're just not going to keep up. So kind of a bummer, but it's definitely one I'll probably pull out for some janky tournaments or whatever. I wonder if it could be a good adaptive deck, if you really do actually kind of work through the different lines of play and everything with Orb of Wonder and all of this stuff, seeing if there are things that you can do. But it's just, there's no huge combos, I would say, that are going to generate 10, 15 Amber in a turn. It's a lot of kind of incremental build up to a pretty decent Logos turn, but even the Logos turn only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you have the Fission Bloom. 6 Amber total if you play every Logos card in one turn. Yeah, So, oh, cool stuff though. Really fun to play, and be on the lookout for some more videos from me. We'll have our next deep dive video coming out probably Monday. I think the plan will probably be to have those release every Monday, if I can get them recorded over the weekend, just so that there's a little bit of a gap. But those I really hope to be a little bit longer and more in depth. I know this video is longer than some I do, but it's a really fun deck, and I enjoyed talking about it and just getting to play with some stuff that I've never gotten to play with before. So fun stuff. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.